Today's trip report, we're going to share with you our weekend trip camping around Marble Canyon in Arizona and overlanding in the Dixie National Forest outside of St. George, Utah. We had so much fun exploring and can't wait to go back for more. Come check out these amazing places with us. We got to camp right at sunset, and the temperature dropped quickly as I was getting ready to prepare dinner. One of my favorite overlanding meals to prepare is soy garlic steak with onion. It can be added to rice or wrapped in tortilla to make it a more filling meal, but for tonight, I kept it simple. The toughest part of camp cooking in the winter for me is keeping the food warm. So we scarfed down our dinner and tucked ourselves in for the night. We slept in and waited for the sun to warm up our tent. We woke up to the amazing view of Echo Cliffs to our east and the beautiful red Vermilion Cliffs to our west. This is the first time that we used the NXS for our iCamper. I really love it so far. I will talk more about this setup in a future video after we get a chance to spend more time using it and give you a better overview on it.
So we've got the speed plate here. It allows us to air up and air down all four tires at once. Here I'm airing down, but when you're airing up, you just plug it into our onboard ARB. So we took one of the offshoots off of Forest Road 031, and that's when we actually aired down. So this section is kind of the beginning of whatever this offshoot was, and we just kind of work our way through it. It had some technical spots here and there. As Jack says, there's a spot or two where you got tippy, but, you know, we're kind of being funny. So if we've not covered before, we're running a MetalCloak Game Changer 3.5, and we're running 35 tires. And at no point was anything here really anything past fun.
Yeah, there's nothing really that challenging. We don't feel like anywhere we will nick or ding our rig.
Yeah, it's scratches.
We got some Utah pinstripes for sure.
Yeah. So that's it. There's a couple tight turns and a couple little dips, but it was curvy enough that I was having a good time. It wasn't like one long stretch.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns, and there's some sections where we're crawling on rocks.
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, so this was a cool little slight little smooth rock surface, and then here you kind of come out to a rock. There's actually like 3 or 4 little on and offs here, but it wasn't too hard to see that the trail continued on.
Yeah, we spotted the trail where it continues across the rock. This is very narrow, and portion of the back tire was hanging off of the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice at all. I was mostly just trying to avoid, I think one of those bushes was how many scratches we end up with. Not that I really care.
And here we're leveling up for our camp. There's some precision driving there, Jeremy.
I actually put it in 4 low, literally just so that I could creep up that under control.
Yeah, and the back tire is really barely on those rocks. But because we're air down, it feels like it's quite stable.
And then, of course, Zira is immediately wanting to play.
Yeah. And we settled in for the night. I have been using the Adventure Scuttle from Temple Tusk since we purchased it last year at the Overland Expo West. For dinner today, I'm preparing a savory chicken vegetable French crepe. We picked up some supply at a grocery store called Beast Marketplace in Colorado City, Arizona on the way here. And they have pre-marinated chicken. I also picked up asparagus and mushroom. I also picked up a package of ready-to-eat French crepes. It's a super convenient way to make your camp meal interesting without making everything from scratch. Once we got back onto Forest Road 031, we quickly get to the Yant Flats parking area. The trailhead is not too crowded yet because we started pretty early. The hike itself to Yant Flat is 1.5 miles.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we're out of shape.
We are so out of shape.
So, we were glad that we got there early and it wasn't hot.
It wasn't too hot. It is pretty exposed, as you can see on the map here. There's not a lot of tree covers. Most of them are just bushes. The final third portion of the trail is just sand, loose sand, so it's a little bit hard to hike.
It was sad. We were huffing slightly just because we were walking in the sand.
Yeah.
Zero was fine.
No, she was having a good time.
She was fine.
So here you can see we got onto the Yant Flat, and it's also nicknamed Candy Cliffs because of the amazing colors of red, yellow, and white just kind of swirling in the rock formation, as you can see here.
Yant's Flats is a sandstone layer that was forced up by volcanic rock at the edge of the Colorado Plateau, and then erosion took over. So, it's relatively steep in some sections. It's kind of a cool bubble smooth thing with lots of colors. So it's pretty interesting and worth the stop.
And again, we were there early enough, and I think it was not one of the more popular areas for people to visit, so we only saw a couple other hikers when we were there. But as we were leaving later, we saw a ton more people showed up, but it also was much hotter then.
Yeah, so I don't know, we probably just spent an hour just kind of chilling, drinking some water, having a snack, taking a bunch of pictures. And kind of just carefully walking around. There's a couple of sections to where it pretty much will dip right down into a actual cliff. So
yeah, so you have to watch where you step for sure. And we found some shade so we cool off a little bit before we start heading back. And that will be the final leg of our trip for this weekend. We're just kind of headed back home from here. Well, folks, that is all for our little weekend overlanding trip report. Thank you for watching, and we hope to share more trip reports with you soon.